do parents define a line between the addiction versus necessity of the screen? Reminds me of one line, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
We ask the opinion of the children.
How will you find out that the child is addicted to it? So screen exposure to child less than 2 years of age. You never use mobile when you are eating and when you go into the bedroom. बच्चे का दिमाग एक प्लेन स्लेट है, उस पे वही लिखेगा जो वो देखेगा या सुनेगा. Difference of opinion will be there when two individuals are there.
Agree to agree or agree to disagree.
Disagree.
Namaste and welcome to S.R.N Mehta family.
Thank you.
We are really honored to have you on this S.R.N Mehta podcast. So my dear audience, it's a great privilege to have Dr. Anuroop Shah, who is a very, very popular pediatrician from Gulbarga with almost 3 decades of service at Dr. Shah's Children's Hospital. So once again, welcome, sir. We are
Thank you,
really
sir.
happy to have you at our program.
Thank you, first of all, for asking me to come down here and share my practical points for bringing up a healthy child with a good, confident approach to the life. I am Dr. Anuroop Shah, born and brought up in Gulbarga. Been practicing since last 32 years in Gulbarga. I have my own hospital at Gulbarga. I am also a professor at KBN Medical College. Been teaching since last 30 years there. I am here to share some practical advice to raise a healthy, confident and a happy child. I'll give some practical tips which may be in practice already by parents or which can give some insight into how they need to practice those things. When I started my practice in 1996, that is nearly 32 years back, the things were different. At that time, technology was not easily available. Kids were relying more on their parents as well as teachers to give them advice or guide them regarding what should be done in life. Most of it has been taken over by gadgets now. Plus, they used to play outdoors a lot. That has come down significantly over the last few decades. The third thing is the expectation out of the children from the parents and the grandparents to perform at every level and to come out with flying colors because of the cutthroat competition which is there in the society. And because you are judged by the amount of academic scores you take rather than by the skills you have. Earlier, there was a concept of joint family where the grandparents, uncles, aunties, everybody was responsible for grooming you. There was a lot of social stimulation with your cousins being there in the same house, elders, younger ones. So you could learn a lot of things like sharing, with compromising on some things, accepting lesser things in life. Advent of nuclear families, the social stimulation what the child requires for growth has significantly decreased, leading to many problems for the child in terms of interacting with the peer groups, going for teamwork, accepting failures. So these things are not easily done by children nowadays, leading to a lot of mental problems and mental stress to the child. Plus the eating habits also have changed a lot because of the advent of processed food, easy to available foods. The nutritious food which has been prepared in the house has taken a backseat. People prefer what is good for their tongue rather than what is good for their body.
Correct. मुझे याद है सर, बचपन में एक टाइम ऐसा था, पापा मम्मी डंडा मार मार के ग्राउंड से हमको अंदर लेकर आते थे, और आज उल्टा हुआ है, डंडा मार के बोलते अरे थोड़ा तो बाहर जाके खेल कर आओ.
There are lot of, you can say about 80% of the children hardly go out and play.
Correct.
Especially in urban.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have access to open grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Second, they don't have time.
Correct.
Because they are so much busy with either school, tuitions or with screen. And third is parents do not have time. Both of them are working and there is nobody in the house who can take them, and there are no friends in and around to play also. We used to enjoy with friends a lot
Correct.
We hardly used to come home.
Wow.
We used to come only for eating, or we used to go to anybody's house and eat.
Correct. How do we define a benchmark to identify the level of addiction? Say, for example, a child gets associated with the screen. And again, so if you look at even S.R.N Mehta School does a lot of digital activity. You must have seen the kind of mentoring that has been done recently, the NASA awards, and the level of engagement of the children that actually needs some amount of screen time. But then how do parents define a line between the addiction versus necessity of the screen? How can a parent judge that parameter?
Actually, we are in an age where we cannot defy technology. It is part and parcel of your life, and without that, you will not be able to do anything in your life. So you can say technology or screen is a boon as well as a bane. You need to understand what advantages it gives and what disadvantages it can have. So advantages are, it is because you are socially connected throughout the world.
Correct.
You have knowledge what is happening throughout the world. Second, it helps you to keep abreast with the developments in and around you also, and plus helps in propagating what you have done on your own. So by putting it on the social media and all. Communicating also is a very important aspect because that is done only digitally nowadays.
Correct.
Learning, because schools have got a curriculum where they give homeworks on the digital media. They have notes on the digital media. They have lectures which are pre-recorded on the digital media. So they need to use digital media. But that digital media should be used age-wise. They say up to 2 years, no digital, no screen time at all. Screen by definition means it can be mobile, it can be TV, it can be tablet, it can be laptop.
Okay.
So no screen exposure to child less than 2 years of age. Not even in and around the child.
Can the student, can the parents put some music on the phone and let the children hear that? Is that
definitely it's acceptable?
Okay.
Even music on TV is acceptable, but direct visualization of the TV is not advocated for children less than 18 months or at least 2 years.
Okay.
And even mothers and father who are in and around the kids should not use them, because children tend to learn from what adults are doing. So they feel screen has to be used. So up to 18 months to 2 years, no screen. From 2 to 5 years, we recommend that they use it for 1 hour. Supervised screen time with a gaps of 20 minutes each time.
Oh, so 20 minutes children can look, then take a break,
and then have some activity and come back to it.
So supervision is for the content or for the type of the way how posture or the way how children watch it, or
supervision is for 2 things. One is content, and here we expect them to have a interactive watching, not a complete attention to the screen.
Okay.
The mother needs to interact with the child while looking at the screen, because whatever projects or things she wants to learn, let it be academics, let it be rhymes, let it be anything. So she should interact with the kid while looking at the screen.
I think this is an extremely important point, sir, that most of the time parents, okay, chal homework karna hai, ye le lo, idu togo magu ni maadbidu, ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. But then the whole point is that the supervision that you mentioned, that the parent has to monitor what the child is looking, and most importantly the line that you mentioned, ki baba interaction while, okay, child, did you understand what he did or what this character did or what? I think that is a real good takeaway for the parents, and I feel every parent should and must pay attention while they give their gadgets.
Pause the video for some time, go back and ask the child what you understood from that. That makes it more better for the child to learn.
Okay.
Basically, the intention of giving screen at that age is to make them learn and to expose them to what all they can do with the screen.
So does the screen time help in improving the gross motor skills or some other physical things, or it is only for the logical thing? Or how can rather parents make use of that screen time to develop something other than the mind?
Actually, strictly speaking, screen actually decreases everything other than only increasing your imagination if done properly.
I see.
Because motor skills and all are diminished because if you don't practice them physically,
Correct.
you are not going to get it.
Okay.
Sensory stimulation to a certain extent, that is visual as well as auditory, will be there. But overdoing that also is going to cause a lot of problems. We'll talk about it over a period of time.
Okay.
From 5 years to 12 years, we expect them to have a screen time of up to 2 hours.
Okay.
That again is supervised, but it may or may not be interacting, because at that level, mother may not be able to interact for everything. But knowing what your child is looking at, what websites he is going to, whom he is talking to, and what he is trying to learn from it is very important. So a supervised, non-interactive screen time up to 2 hours is allowed up to 12 years. And 12 years of and beyond, not more than 3 hours per day. That is again for educational. 1 hour, you can ask him to have some amount of interaction on social media or not, but not much.
Okay.
That is maximum what you're talking.
Correct.
The bare minimum, the possible, the better.
Agreed. Okay. And what about the high school, like between 12 to 16 or 18?
And beyond 12 years, it is 3 hours.
3 hours per day. Okay.
So you can have a ceiling by supervising it. And the earliest sign of addictions, as you asked earlier, the question was, how will you find out that the child is addicted to it? Moving away from crowds, getting lonely,
Okay.
not answering to you with eye-to-eye contact, having that eagerness to go back to the screen at the earliest.
Correct.
The moment you are talking also, he tries to answer you in single words and try to finish the conversation and go back to the screen.
I think you said this very, very right. You hit the nail on the top. So can you just say this once again, because this is a very crucial point, and I want our parents who may be fluent with English or may not. ये एक चीज आप हिंदी में और कन्नड़ा में, ये जो अभी लाइन बताई आपने, बहुत अच्छी चीज है. एक बार आप हमें हिंदी और कन्नड़ा में भी बताएंगे इसके बारे में.
जब भी बच्चा आपके साथ बात करते हुए जल्दी खत्म करके वापस स्क्रीन पे जाना चाह रहा है, या कोई भी आए जब आके बात करने के लिए आके बैठेगा नहीं, अपने साथ हम उम्र के बच्चों के साथ खेलने की इच्छा नहीं रहेगी, बार बार स्क्रीन की तरफ जा रहा है, इसका मतलब वो स्क्रीन से एडिक्टेड है.
Okay.
वो आपका पहला साइन है कि बच्चा अपने आप में रहना चाह रहा है, तो स्क्रीन छुड़ाना बहुत जरूरी है उस टाइम.
एंड उस समय अगर एक्शन नहीं लिया तो पेरेंट्स के लिए बहुत
लॉन्ग टर्म प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत हो जाएंगे. जितना छोटा बच्चा उतना प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज डेवलपिंग ब्रेन is more affected by screen time as compared to a developed brain. So जब ब्रेन डेवलप होता है, अगर आप एक्सेसिव यूसेज ऑफ स्क्रीन और एडिक्शन रहेगा तो लॉन्ग टर्म इफेक्ट्स बहुत ज़्यादा रहेंगे उसके.
Sir, many parents complain that their child refused to sleep on time, impacting their alertness at school.
Yeah.
So what is your advice for restoring healthy sleep cycle for a child?
This is the most common problem with which the parents come to us. The first problem is child is not eating well. Second, the child is not sleeping well. The main reason here again is screen.
Okay.
If you are watching the screen, it emits a blue light, which stimulates dopamine in our body, which causes a lot of excitement. And with excitement, you get satisfied, and that reinforces that I need to go back to screen. So it is a vicious cycle.
Right.
You watch screen, you go back to screen, and that keeps on emitting. Your dopamine is released. That hampers the secretion of melatonin hormone, which is secreted in our body, which is a hormone which is essential for sleep.
I see.
When melatonin levels decrease, you will not get a sound sleep. When you don't get a sound sleep, your brain is fatigued. So your learning capability will come down. So you are not active throughout the day.
एक ऐसा विचित्र साइकिल है जिसमें बच्चा स्क्रीन देखता है, स्क्रीन के देखने से डोपामिन रिलीज होता है, डोपामिन रिलीज होने से जो स्लीप के लिए लगने वाले हार्मोन्स है वो सेक्रेट होना बंद हो जाते हैं, उससे उसकी नींद नहीं होती,
साउंड स्लीप नहीं आती. So recommendation is 1.5 to 2 hours before sleep, you should never watch mobile.
ओहो।
1.5 to 2 hours before going to sleep.
बट सर आजकल तो बच्चे या पेरेंट्स खुद भी मोबाइल देख देख कर ही सो जाते हैं.
Second important thing is mobile prohibited area. One is dining table, second is bedroom. You should never use mobile when you are eating and when you go into the bedroom.
So I think our parents really need to take this message that most of the time बच्चा खाता नहीं है, मोबाइल देकर उसको खिलाना चालू करते हैं. So does this actually, मतलब मुझे हमेशा लगता था कि जब बच्चे देखते हैं और खाते हैं तो वो खाने का जो कनेक्ट होता है वो टूट जाता है.
पूरा टूट जाता है.
You cannot enjoy the taste of
You
that.
know what? You do not know what you are eating.
Exactly sir.
On the contrary, you just focus on अच्छा लग रहा है, sweet लग रहा है, खाते जाओ.
So it fills the tummy, but it doesn't actually
help you
Okay.
in any way. And you tend to overeat or undereat. Both the things can occur. Because something is interesting on the mobile, you tend to undereat.
Correct.
But something you are getting happy, you keep on eating, going obese. So those two problems are very common again. Undernutrition and overnutrition with mobile.
तो लंच या डिनर के टाइम पर what is a good practice so that parents can convey or convince students that okay, at least for the lunch or dinner let's keep it away? Can you give some tips for that? Because many times again see either parents beat them or take some abusive action. ये हमको एक ऐसा लगता है आज के डेट में जो नए बच्चे आ रहे हैं उनको हम मार के नहीं सिखा सकते, मार के सुधार नहीं सकते. वो एक हमारा जमाना था जब हम बच्चे थे, तब 2-4 डंडे खाए, काम चल गया. बट आज के डेट में ऐसा नहीं होता है. तो आपकी क्या मतलब आज के ये जो यंग पेरेंट्स हैं उनके लिए क्या एडवाइस होगा कि हाउ डू दे कंट्रोल द स्टूडेंट्स और देयर चिल्ड्रन रादर?
You need to walk the talk.
ओके.
फर्स्ट आपको उनके सामने बैठे जब मोबाइल के साथ रहने रहना, unless or until you are doing some important part of your job.
Okay.
Not for social media, not for WhatsApp, not for Instagram, nothing.
Correct.
एंड आप खुद मोबाइल बाजू रखिए और बच्चे से बात करने की कोशिश करिए खाना खाते टाइम पे, एंड मेक इट ए रूल कि एटलीस्ट 1 meal a day फैमिली विल हैव टुगेदर.
करेक्ट.
जब तक आप साथ में बैठेंगे नहीं और उनसे बात नहीं करेंगे वो छोड़ेंगे नहीं.
करेक्ट.
तो
एक्चुअली सर दिस रिमाइंड्स मी ऑफ वन लाइन, प्रैक्टिस व्हाट यू प्रीच. अगर हम बच्चों को बोलते हैं आप मोबाइल मत देखो और आप खुद मोबाइल देखकर करोगे तो चिल्ड्रन विल डेफिनेटली इम्बाइब दैट.
आपको लगता है कि मैं ये सब चीजें 4-5 साल के बाद छोड़ूंगा. बच्चा 1 साल का रहे तो भी आपको ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है.
करेक्ट.
बच्चा 1 साल का रहे तो भी ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है कि मेरे फादर क्या कर रहे हैं, मेरी मदर क्या कर रहे हैं, उनके इमोशंस क्या है, उन्होंने कैसा रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं मोबाइल देखे, जब उन्होंने अपने दूसरों से कैसा बिहेव कर रहे हैं, ये सब चीजें उनमें इम्बाइब हो जाती है.
आपने बहुत अच्छा टॉपिक छेड़ा सर. कई बार हम हमारे स्कूल में भी बच्चों में बदलाव देखते हैं, उनके स्वभाव में बदलाव देखते हैं, एंड देन वी ट्राई टू कोरिलेट और व्हेन आवर काउंसलर्स टॉक टू देम वी आइडेंटिफाई दैट देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम इन द हाउस. फादर मदर के रिलेशनशिप्स में कभी स्ट्रेन होता है या कभी किसी स्ट्रेस का रिजल्ट इधर आता है. तो आपका क्या लॉजिक है या क्या एडवाइस है सर कि जब घर पे मतलब फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि हाउ डज द parental behavior impact the children? Can you tell something about that, the adverse impacts of that?
बच्चे का दिमाग एक प्लेन स्लेट है, उस पे वही लिखेगा जो वो देखेगा या सुनेगा. तो आपका घर का वातावरण जैसा पहले से है, इनडायरेक्टली बहुत सा नेचर बच्चे का भी ऐसा रहेगा. आप अब्यूजिव रहेंगे आपके स्पाउस के अगेंस्ट, वो सबकॉन्शियसली वैसा डेवलप हो जाएगा कि he will become into adult who is going to do the same things most of the times. If you see you speaking lies, you covering up things, you doing illegal things, he thinks it is normal. Suppressing women, he feels it is normal. He will try to do the same things in his future. So बच्चे बड़ों से सीखते हैं जो भी है. आप घर का माहौल अच्छा रखिए, फ्रेंडली रखिए, एक दूसरे के साथ इंटरेक्शन, एटलीस्ट बच्चों के सामने कुछ ऐसा मत करिए कि जिससे बच्चे को अंदर से अंदर इफेक्ट हो रहा है,
लगे या वो चीज उनके मन
में लग रहे है. वो दिख के आएगी उसको 10 साल, 12 साल, 14 साल, 18 साल कब दिख के आएगी नहीं मालूम, लेकिन उसके मन में रहेगी वो. तो आप चाहते हैं कि आपका बच्चा सही तरह से अच्छा इंसान बने, तो आपको पहले अच्छा इंसान बनना पड़ेगा.
जो हम कहते हैं चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा जो कहते हैं, मतलब जो बचपन में कोई चीज देखी होती है, किसी ने बहुत बुरी तरह से मारा, वो पूरा दिमाग में घर करके रख देती है.
और वो ही डर में जीते रहती है,
उस अच्छा वो ही जिंदा रहती है
अंदर है.
ओके
इट विल सरफेस एनी टाइम.
सरफेस ऑफ एनी टाइम वेरी गुड सर बट अब देखिए हस्बैंड वाइफ में कुछ नोकझोंक होना ये आम बात है तो इस चीज को बच्चों से प्रिवेंट करके हाउ डू पेरेंट्स लाइक व्हाट इज योर एडवाइस शुड दे जस्ट
No joke is acceptable because that is part of everybody's life. But raising voice against each other,
Achha.
abusing against each other, you are putting forth your differences. That means you are showing that both of them are independent of their thinking, which is a good thing. But that doesn't mean that you go to that level where you start hurting each other's sentiments. Difference of opinion will be there when two individuals are there.
correct
But that shouldn't go to a level where you're fighting like uneducated people or people who are on the streets.
so ideally basically what you're trying to say is parents should develop a culture of agree to agree or agree to disagree.
Disagree.
So we respectfully disagree and we respectfully agree with him. Okay, आपकी बात से सहमत हूँ बट मुझे नहीं लगता ऐसा है बट चलिए आप कह रहे हैं तो मैं मान लेता हूँ.
And if it is a slightly older child, mother or father can take their opinion also.
Actually, sir, you made a very, very important point. And I think this is an extremely important message to all the parents that we ask the opinion of the children.
Yeah.
Because today the Gen Zs and the millennials are so brilliant. I mean, their IQ levels are simply tremendous.
They have their opinion right from smaller age.
Very young age. I mean, I was so amazed when I saw one child asking me, ki, what do you feel about a couple of things? And then he proposed me his views about that. And I was so shocked, ki, my God, such a young child.
But you should encourage
Clarity
those
of
things
thought.
now.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
that way you are bringing up a child who has got independent thinking and who can think beyond what their parents can. Because the vision becomes more broader.
And also, sir, I think by doing that, we are indirectly imbibing a culture of respecting others' views. And that actually helps a lot in the long run.
And we are making him bold enough to put forth his view
Correct.
at any platform.
करेक्ट ये बहुत अच्छी बात बताई क्योंकि बच्चों को अपना मत रखने को आना चाहिए अपना व्यू अपने विचार रखने को आने चाहिए एक अच्छे साफ शब्दों में और रिस्पेक्टफुली रखने को आना चाहिए. आई थिंक दिस इज अ ग्रेट मैसेज टू ऑल द पेरेंट्स दैट वी शुड आस्क द ओपिनियन. It may be wrong at the initial stage, could be possible, or it could be very silly or very funny. But then that will actually seed the child to build his or her thinking and that will eventually grow up.
Don't try to negate that opinion immediately also.
Yes.
Try to pursue what was his point of view of telling that opinion and discuss it later on some other time.
Okay.
As to why did you think like this?
ये भी एक आपने बहुत अच्छी बात बताई सर. कई बार हमने देखा है इवन कई बार स्कूल में जब पेरेंट्स मीटिंग होता है तो बच्चा कुछ इशू कर देता है तो खाड़ बोल के वहीं पर लगा देते हैं. आजकल तो मारना फिर भी कम हो गया तो सबके सामने बच्चों को गुस्सा कर देते हैं. अरे नहीं इष्टು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀಯ ಅದು ಇದು. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್. Bring the child home back and sit with him and personally talk to him कि बेटा ये आपके मार्क अच्छे नहीं आए, क्यों नहीं आए, आपको क्या करना चाहिए, आप खुद बताओ. और फिर तब उनको उस चाइल्ड को उस तरह से आई थिंक हेल्प करते हैं तो फिर वो बच्चा अच्छी तरह से उसको अडॉप्ट भी करेगा. एंड इनफैक्ट आपके बात से एक मुझे ये और भी क्लैरिटी मिल रही है कि ऐसे करने से बच्चे के मन में अपने माता पिता का रिस्पेक्ट भी बहुत बढ़ जाता है सर. Very true, sir. What a valid point you have shared. And I'm sure each and every parent will be able to connect with this part, sir.
Most of the times what happens is if you do not score marks or you do not perform well, beating or abusing the child is going to worsen your problem.
Correct.
As you said rightly, talking to him and finding out what is the issue and trying to sort it out with the child becomes more easier. And marks is not everything in life.
Correct. Agreed.
Marks are essential for your success. But good marks does not guarantee success.
Correct. Sir, one more thing. What you said is right, but here there is one underline that we have to identify. Many times children's lethargy is the root cause of lower performance.
Agreed.
So how does the parent know whether it is lethargy or lack of understanding, and how does a parent build that environment or that energy into the child so that at least he or she gets that urge to fight or at least to score better or do better? What is your view on that?
First of all, look whether the child is giving quality time for his reading and all. or he's just reading for the sake of reading. Whether he's really interested or he has some other interest. Sometimes what happens is children are more interested in sports. They are more inclined toward, they are not very inclined towards academics. They want to spend more time on the ground. Those cases, you should always try to balance everything with the child's perspective in mind, and your perspective has to put that this is essential for you to lead a life and earn your living. Academics are also equally important. But your hobbies all there, which need not be suppressed. But you have to give time depending on the schedule of your day. How much school you have, how much tuition you have, how much time you can give for studies, how much time you can give for your hobbies. You have to reduce your screen time there.
Correct. So if we need to expand or fill some extra gaps, we need to cut something, and that cutting, the best solution is the screen time.
Encourage the child to have hobby of their own, but not at the cost of academics.
Okay.
They need to perform to the best of their ability.
Sometimes what we have observed is children learn something in the school. The same concept they again try to ask the parents or something. But on the face of it, it appears that the reason is not the understanding, but it is the lack of practice. So how should we motivate the child to work on practicing things?
Every child is different.
Motivation.
Every child is different. We have to probably try to understand what is decreasing the motivation of the child.
Very good. The root cause, the source
of
for that motivation. Okay.
If you find the root cause, you can treat it. You cannot have a blanket thing that you do this, the child will get motivated. So try to individualize your child, try to find out what the child is demotivated from, and whether the grasping power is less, whether the verbal expression power is less, whether he has got some associated problem which he needs to address, whether he needs to have a counseling session or he needs to go to a counselor to find out why he is not able to perform well.
What is the age from which the child can reach out to the counselor?
Whenever the child starts communicating with each other, more than 5 years is equally good. When he is able to put forth his thoughts.
So through this channel, sir, I would like you to express your views on reaching out to counselors if you have something. Is that a good thing? Or like now, say, even our school, we have got multiple counselors and they're really doing a fantastic job because they are, and honestly, today they are the busiest people in the entire school. So many children approach them.
I think.
So what is your advice to the children about counselors? Is it a good practice to talk to them?
I think one should not hesitate. You should consider it, the earlier the better. You nip the problem in the bud.
Correct.
Don't allow it to grow to such an extent where you need multidisciplinary approach. So if your problem is going to get solved only by counselor, you are identifying the problem or the parents are identifying the problem and getting him counseled. Because we do not know what is influencing the child, because there are so many influences the child is under now.
Sir, what is your advice to our parents also? Many times, when child reaches out to a counselor, there are two ways to look at it. Okay, at least he has found somebody where he can open up. Second way is that, okay, he still doesn't feel confident or comfortable to open up with the parents.
Then the parents need to be counseled.
Then the parents needs to be counseled.
Because we have to accept certain things that our child is going through an issue,
some emotional
which we need to address. And who is the best person to address it? So that if the counselor is able to find the problem, accept it and try to work on that along with the child, so that the child will have a problem-free childhood. If you are in the mode of denial that how can my child have a problem or why my child should not talk to me as compared to talk to the counselor, then you are trying to run away from the problem or you are taking it upfront. The problem is going to increase.
I think, sir, here you said a very, very important point, and I can correlate this to a few things accordingly. बच्चा किसके सामने ओपन होता है? जो उसको अच्छी तरह से सुन सकता है.
Exactly.
सुनने के बाद एडवाइस देना जरूरी नहीं है. पहले सुनना ही मेरे हिसाब से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट.
Good counsel is always one who hears well.
Hears well. Absolutely well said, sir. So, and ये एक मैसेज हमारे पेरेंट्स के लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि बच्चे जब कुछ कहेंगे तो इमीडिएटली उसको एडवाइस मत कीजिए.
सुनिए,
फर्स्ट सुन लीजिए. वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट.
सुनिए कि अरे तो ऐसा कैसा सोच रहा है, वैसा नहीं.
हाँ,
तू क्यों सोच रहा?
हाँ.
What made you to think that this is like this? If you feel that this is like this, we'll try to change it.
Thank you for watching the S.R.N Mehta Podcast. Part 2 is coming soon. Like, share, and comment.